ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, guess who's back?
Guess who's back? Guess.
Goddamn legends.
That's right, folks. It's your boys.
Air horns for the win.
It's always 400. And it's the Producer Lounge.
Wow, yay.
This is
wow.
episode 56.
56.
Ooh. With our special guest, Invisiboy. Hope you guys are all having a great week. This is our show. We talk about music production, mainly in the box electronic music production. It's usually where it leads. We haven't done lots of band productions, although we've been in bands. That's not really what this is. This is more of the bass, the boots and cats,
the dirty and dark,
yeah,
the underground,
the
the womps,
the traps,
yeah, the wigglies,
the wiggly wogglies, the UKGs, yeah, bro.
Oh. Yeah, Bristol.
Yeah, so that's
Bristol.
That's right, Bristol, Manchester, all those, Europe things.
Europe. Brexit.
Okay. How are you guys?
Good.
Chilling.
Was just listening to the Artsy AF podcast. Shout out those guys.
Do what?
It's a podcast centered around like painting, basically. Painters. A bunch of like the Apex
RTF?
Collective. Artsy AF, yeah. Artsy as fuck podcast.
Okay, yeah, it did. I was like, man, RTF podcast. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Artsy AF.
Artsy AF. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was listening to one with
catchy
Stephen
name.
Cruz and then another with Jake Amazon. It is catchy, right? It's fun, playful. That's cool.
Trendy.
And it used to be two hosts, and I think it's just one host now. But he lives here in Denver, also. So shout out to the Denver Potters up in here, part of this creative movement that
Let's go,
Denver's
boys.
experiencing. It's pretty
Yep,
sick.
yep. Excuse our poor quality on the stream right now. Apparently, we have we have an unstable connection for some reason. It is streaming, but I don't. Apparently, our bit rate is trash right now.
Oh, bummer. We're
And
probably running like 480p.
poor network connection is
Unstable.
detected.
Shame.
Well,
That's okay. It's being recorded, right?
yeah,
And that
it's all
shouldn't
good.
fuck up for YouTube at least, so that's something.
This apparently will help. Turned off the low latency mode, which I get why you would want low latency mode, so that if people are typing in chat, you can you get it immediately and you respond. And it looks pretty quick to that person chatting. But sometimes you got to have like a 30-second delay. Yeah, I don't know it's interesting.
It's okay. If they have a burning question, they'll wait.
Honestly, it's probably because Xfinity hates us and they throttled our internet because it's the end of the month.
Boo.
Yeah, we use a lot of data.
We use a lot of data, and for all the nerds out there
you
who
can't
are
tell.
like, yeah, the
By
nerds who are constantly like, well, just get better internet connection. Like, this is literally the fastest connection we can get in this neighborhood.
True.
Yep.
Like every other company,
True.
that is the most expensive, best internet we can get here, and it's not even that good. Sorry.
We would have fiber, but we couldn't even get that.
No, we
right?
can't. We can't get fiber yet.
Yeah.
We keep moving out of the neighborhoods they move into.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course.
Although had we moved this year, maybe we would be able to move use that as our where should we move, somewhere that has fiber. But
Fiber would be a good one to look for.
yeah,
Next year.
that's okay.
All right. Well,
What up, G?
Welcome to the party, buddy.
Suppose we get started here.
Yeah, you got a tip of the week there, Buckaroo.
Yeah, I have a tip of the week. Sterile sounds are boring. So,
Boo.
how do we make less sterile sounds? I saw a video the other day explaining kind of a version of this. I'm just going to give you another version. I don't remember whose video it was. basically, if you flatten something, let's say you flatten something, you stretch it. I like to do like a stretch and then affect the stretched out version. Try and make that sound good. Like usually once you stretch it, it sounds like shit. And then, you know, maybe you make some EQ moves, you do a couple things, flatten that, re-stretch it back to its normal, whatever.
Right.
The way
Like,
it was before you stretched it. But with the new reprocessed thing, bring it back down. Maybe do the same thing again, re-affect that line, and then print that, stretch it again. Whenever I say print, I just mean flatten or render or whatever.
Right. Freeze and flatten if you're able to.
Yep, record it to a new audio channel and re-affect it over and over. The more times you do that, the more like weird little artifacts you're getting from each little move that you do.
Right.
And it's really fun.
Yeah, and that's a really easy way to get into those happy accidents type of moments.
Yeah,
Which
totally.
Everyone raves about those. And they're like, oh, the happy accidents are the best. But you have to like, and like some people might wonder, like, how do you get to those happy accidents? Like, you can force yourself into those by injecting just randomness as much as possible.
Yes.
And that and
Randomness.
something like that is you're kind of injecting randomness because you don't know what the artifacts are going to be.
Right.
Like, you have a kind of general idea. You're like, oh, if I slow this down, in your head, it's going to sound slower and lower pitch, and there's going to be some aliasing. But it's what you do with that slowed down signal, and then speed it back up. Like you can kind of predict, but if you put a bunch of weird shit there, you're going to get some cool things that you're not not really consciously trying to do.
Yeah, and you could go with a repitch if you want to do it like as soundly as possible with the stretching, or you could use some other algorithm for stretching that'll help. That'll add little artifacts and shit in there for you.
Like texture mode in Ableton.
Yeah.
I love using it for that
Yeah.
exact reason.
Totally.
Yeah, just does weird shit, makes it glitchy, and it adds like weird high end sometimes.
Yeah.
However you want to play with it.
Yeah, go back and forth and back and forth. It's really fun. I like doing it with vocals a lot. If I'm making a vocal for a track, I'll do my whatever. Yo, motherfucking G's in the house or whatever the fucking thing is.
Yeah.
And then speed it up, affect it, get it sounding cool, stretch it back out, affect it a little bit, speed it back up, whatever, until something neat happens.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did it the other day. Caleb went to take a shower, walked by my studio, and when he walked out, there was a vocal playing. He's like, wait, is that a girl? Where'd you get a girl vocal?
Yeah, I was super confused.
It's like, oh no, that's just my voice.
Yeah. Like, I was going to say splice, but one, didn't sound like a splice vocal.
Right.
And two, you didn't have splice.
I don't know how
So I was like,
yeah.
is this in a sample pack I don't know about?
Right.
But
Where did
it's
this
fun.
come from?
Yeah, that was actually a technique I did for my lo-fi releases. In like 3 or 4 of the songs, I did that exact thing where I was just like, well, I want to try it, because you know how like a lot of lo-fi tracks will have that like really, really lo-fi intro and everything's all like small and weird and broken. I was like, well, how can I do this in like a more creative, fun way than just like filtering and putting it in, like in mono or something.
Yeah.
So I did that, yeah, and you get all those like weird artifacts, and it sounds kind of broken, but then you pitch it back to the like spot where it's supposed to be to sound good, and it's in time and everything, and it just sounds like wonky and weird
Yeah.
and broken, and it's like it's perfect for that kind of style.
Oh, yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, and then you come in
Totally.
with the actual piano or like whatever the pad is, and it's all like lush and beautiful and perfect now. You get that like hard contrast.
Yeah, there's something special about taking something that you know, like it's kind of has all the vibe you want, but it's one too sterile, like you were saying. Like, this could be a MIDI line with a synth, or this could be a sample. Doesn't really matter. But then knowing that you want to you kind of want to tear it apart, but by the end of it, kind of have still the same vibe to it. So you're able to just, you have like the original, and then you have like 6 different flattens that you've done, all adding different things, stretching it, doing a bunch of shit. And by the end, you have this totally different thing that's like, it's still kind of the character of what you had, but it's all fucking cool and fucking weird. And everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, where'd you get that? How'd you do that?" Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know. I just did a bunch of shit,
Yeah.
Right.
and then this is what came out. I kind of remember the process, but I doubt I could ever do it again. Like,
Not
Yeah.
exactly the same.
and you could even put the same or a different sound through the same process, and you're gonna get totally different results.
Right.
Yeah.
That's something that happens to me a bunch with like mud pies. I'll go back and like check out some of the mud pies I made, and I'm like, oh my god, that sound is fucking sick right here. But then it's just like I had no idea how I made it because I was just playing with like chaos and resampling and like
Yep.
doing the thing we're talking about where you just stretch it and then throw it through the same processing. So it's like it's fun because you're exploring like this infinite like void of like potential for sound. But then when you find something cool, if you don't like save the rack or whatever you did to it, you're just like, oh well, that's just a magic sound that exists that I'll never be able to do again.
Honestly, kind of love that.
I know,
Same.
right?
It's like my favorite thing to do when people are constantly like, "Oh yeah, I go back and I save all my stuff, I catalog it all." I'm like, "Nah, fuck that. I want to make it all from scratch every time." Like I know, like
Just send it, dude.
for
Just send
sure,
it.
I'm a little bit of a masochist, and
Yeah.
in that way
Yeah,
too.
sure.
I like being like, no, I want to spend an hour on this kick drum. Like fuck, just searching. And
I have that
finding
in me as well.
like
I like to punish myself. Like, nah,
because the
you
amount of
gotta do this the hard way, bro.
because right,
Yeah,
if you want
yeah.
the actual sauce, you gotta go the long way. And the easiest way to go the long way every time is to never make a map of the long way. So you constantly have to refigure it out every time.
Explore the forest with no map.
Yeah,
every
it's
time.
so much fun because you're gonna find little nooks and crannies you've never seen before.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's
know?
a different tree. Oh,
And-
that's a new rock.
You get better at it.
I think that's
Yeah.
another thing is you force yourself to be paying attention
Right.
while you're doing it because
Yeah.
you know you're not gonna save any of it. Like it's not for me. It's not even. It doesn't even cross my mind. Like I can just save this. Like that never enters my brain at all. I'm always just paying attention, and then I have a couple things that I know what they do, like U big G. Like I know what that thing is gonna do most of the time.
Right.
So I know when I want it and when I don't want it because I know what it's gonna do to a sound. So things like that, I can navigate my way through.
Yeah. And like, say you're doubling the size of something, stretching it with a repitch algorithm on. You know, if you are planning to re-stretch it back to normal speed, that maybe I need to put a low pass right below the fundamental, or a low cut right below the fundamental, so that when it gets stretched back, there's not all this weird, like garbage shit getting stretched back
Right.
into the low end.
Right, exactly.
And like whatever the thing is, you're not going to have a ton of high end
Nope.
there
Nope.
at that point, so you don't have to worry about it very much.
Right.
And then when you stretch it back, the high end comes back
Yeah, exactly.
to some
Exactly.
extent, and hopefully a little bit more fun.
Yeah,
That
and-
high end usually gets a little bit destroyed.
And yeah, that's a fun way to experiment with it too. Like you could just slow something down, EQ it to death,
Yep.
print it, and then speed it back up and see what it does. Like it's gonna do weird things.
Yeah, totally.
You know, not just because the sonic character has changed, but also because now you have phasing and you've introduced all these kind of weird artifacts into it, which is neat.
Totally.
Yeah, it's super fun. So much fun. Sterile sounds are boring. It's easy not to have sterile sounds, folks. Remember this.
That's right.
a
Yeah.
good time.
If you have something stretched out, another thing I remembered just now, if you printed it and you make it twice as big, and you add some like pitch kind of shit to that, when you pull it back, that pitching will conserve nicely. Like if you have some pitching, let's see.
Like some wow.
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah.
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 Just,
Some kind of like,
just some light.
what is
pitching.
that? RC.
RC20.
RC20, yeah.
RC20.
Yeah. Throw a little wobbliness on there.
Wow and flutter. Which I don't know why it's called wow, but I think that's the universal term for like slight pitch modulation. I don't know. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
She's like, what is sterile? Sterile is like, think of a sterile
like
water
that, or you bring in
or
a synth and it's just got that main patch, just like a square wave or a sine wave, and you make a lead line out of it, and you don't do anything to the sound, like you don't give it an envelope or you don't give it any kind of character of its
So
own.
it's just like on off.
yeah,
on,
it's just
off.
like meh, 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 meh,
There's
meh.
no reverb.
Yeah.
There's
None of the
no-
harmonics are moving at all.
There's no movement. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, there's no.
It's
Yeah,
lifeless.
right. That's sterile.
Yeah. Boo.
Yeah. Computer stuff tends to be
Right.
sterile.
It's really easy to be sterile.
Yeah.
with a synthesizer.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have-
Especially a computer synthesizer.
yeah, you don't have to do anything. You just
Yeah. If you're playing with an actual synthesizer, it's one of the beautiful things about it. It's not a sterile sound,
right.
even right out of the box,
Right.
because it already has weird pitch artifacts in it. It has a hum at the bottom, whatever kind of like
It has to warm up.
whatever the noise floor is.
It's gonna detune
Yep.
as it warms up, or retune as it warms up. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
both.
starts
Yeah.
off detuned and gets to tune or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. I don't think I've ever tuned my synthesizer. I just don't use it very much.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if it needs like a serious tuning.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
I know, right?
It probably is almost always very close.
Speaking of sterile in terms of your like sonics of the sound, you could also a good thing to talk about is keep it from being sterile rhythmically too. Like keeping the groove in the forefront of your mind while you're working on the beat, like making sure you're not just clicking MIDI notes right on the grid and then just being like, cool, close that MIDI clip, let's go, let's keep rolling. Like, you're gonna want to add a little bit of juice into that. Like in Ableton, you have the added benefit of the groove pool, so you can kind of just find a groove that you like and throw it on most things, and that's usually probably enough to get away with a
Right.
little bit of groove.
Yeah.
But sometimes I find it better to just manually do it personally, because a lot of times some of the top loops I'll bring in to get started, or some of the riffs I write need a specific groove for them to work, and so you kind of have to tweak. But it's a good thing to bring up, because I feel like not enough people
Yeah.
think about it.
totally.
It took me years to even be like, oh, I need to be off the grid. Oh,
Right. Yeah. I know one
Like-
thing we wanted to talk about today was the Kilohearts update.
yes.
I forgot that we were going to talk about that,
Yes.
but talking about what you're saying right now,
Yep.
I made a little vibe today, and I had it's essentially just an LFO running, doing the audio or the volume envelopes for the sound that I was making. And I just made a little thing that would loop, and it has like 3 peaks within the loop.
Okay.
You know, and so then I went and set it, and I just played the song with that loop on until it sat in a place that I thought was cool. So I just made a little peak, little peak, little peak in the LFO, and each one of those is having a slightly different like envelope to it, coming up and going down. So they have like a individually neat little thing, and then I manually just tried to make it within the 4-bar area to where it would loop good. But
Right.
it's not perfect,
No.
which is the beautiful part.
And it's not even connected I mean, it is connected to the DAW, but it's like you've created your own little sequence,
Right.
so it's forcefully outside of the grid of your
Yep.
track. So you kind of have to, by ear, get it as close as you want it. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how far back in the podcast she is. How much of a delay do we have
it
right
says
now?
it says we're excellent now.
Oh,
Something happened in a
Zang.
bit rate.
Back to 1080p, baby.
yeah, dry. Gee,
Yeah, dry.
just not moving.
Yeah.
Boring.
Mm-hmm.
You do a good on that that track I mastered, the Gorillas thing.
mhm.
His lead sound in that one is not dry, or not sterile.
Not sterile. Right.
Dry. I don't say dry when I'm describing the sound because most people, when they think of dry, they mean like they think like doesn't have reverb on it,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
or whatever. And usually, I'm avoiding reverb for the most part on things. There will be reverb, but like I try to not put reverb on things. I would rather put like a couple choruses just fucking up the width.
I still already forgot about that.
Or flanger, or
Oh yeah, that's right.
Already
or
forgot again.
or a really low level delay that's just adding a little slap back on it or something. But chorus,
Yeah,
fucking chorus.
8 years of producer. In the last 5, I forgot that plugin existed. So stupid.
Yeah, so
I used to use it all the time. I was just going to do a quick demonstration.
of the thing that you're talking about, that we've been talking about.
Well, one, we can go into that, but a sterile
Oh yeah,
versus a
Fuck yeah.
non-sterile. So let me just make a quick, very
sterile sound.
very sterile sound. So this is sterile. If I had like a
Boring.
You should make a little loop that is an actual decent melody for fun.
Ooh, putting him on the spot.
decent melody.
Well,
on the spot.
like a not a decent melody, like a decent little groove.
Yeah,
thing,
just some little groove.
but
that
that
we can...
is sterile. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Wait.
Perfect.
All right.
Look at that. He's a professional, guys.
Is it this long? Yeah.
Very sterile.
For fun, we'll just get kick 2 in here real quick. Because
Gotta put a kick in there.
Mm-hmm.
we
Just
also
need
got
to
to
hear it
zoom in.
against
We're
the
like,
kick.
yeah, I got it. I got to hear it with the kick. I want my kick in there. So this kick is probably going to be like boomy as balls. Yeah, so boomy. Boom. Man, who would ever use that kick? It's. I guess it's big roomy. A free crash course in making a kick. Here you guys go. Okay, so that's sterile as balls. It's so sterile, it's annoying. So a quick way just to make this non-sterile, like we were talking about, is with wow or flutter, which we can just use RC20 to just demonstrate this real quick. Oh no. Oh no, we gotta open Spiggity. I think I owe like $3 left
You can
on
do
this. I think I have
Good
1
Hurts.
month
Mm.
to write it to you.
Oh, you have it.
So it's basically instantly better,
Yep.
instantly more interesting. Now that it's just being detuned
Just got,
slightly.
like, a slight
Yeah, it's just got a
wiggle
little
to it.
move
Little
around.
wiggle.
And then, yeah, add a little bit of. Boom. No longer sterile. And the space wouldn't even be necessary. It's just an added thing. But just keeping it from
Or even
being.
like a chorus.
Right. Just keeping it from being completely dumb.
With a
Or
chorus.
just throw a chorus.
What's a
on
chorus?
there. Chorus plus.
Oh, that must be some new
Leave the
type
wobble
of audio
on.
effect.
Chorus Plus. I haven't messed with it yet.
It's funny. They have a chorus and a chorus plus. I don't know what the difference
The
is.
super chorus. Yeah, instantly cooler.
Oh,
Oh, wait. Are we going to a rave right
Yeah,
now?
are we gonna rave, dude?
it has an 8 voice multiplier. That's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
That is tight.
And then
What was that? Just detunes it all weird?
it just
Oh,
doubles it.
when you
So it turns
turn
it
the
on.
tone knob. It fucking adds
Well, it's
pitch
time now.
Shit. Oh right.
When you
time
do the
knob.
2 time, it decreases the time between the left and the right.
Right.
So what you do,
Yep.
you add a random
Let's go.
on this time.
This is what I do. Always.
Yep,
I do
yep.
this to fucking everything. So it's just occasionally.
Yeah. So
You could do that with a comb. You could do that with an actual pitch effect.
Yeah.
We're
What's up,
already doing it with
Aqua?
the wobble.
it
Welcome,
is
buddy.
actually Tuesday. That is
It's
correct.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So back to the other thing we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not know what kilohertz is, and I said that wrong, excuse me, kilohearts. It's
Yep.
KILOHEARTS.
Yes.
Kilohearts, like your heart.
Kilohearts, like snorting a kilo
One,
straight to my heart.
they have
And I
the
have a heart attack and die.
Straight to the heart.
20,000.
They're not going to forget it. You know, Kilohearts can thank me.
Actually, a pre-drop vocal that's like 30 hertz straight to your heart is actually kind of cool because then it's just sub, you know. Just it's kind of cool. Got to find a gangster dude to say that for us. I'm not gangster enough.
Hey, if you're gangster, hit us up. You know,
What's up? Always
we're gangster friendly.
.com. Also,
Gangster friendly.
exclamation point Discord and chat. What's up?
Goddamn right.
So this synth is amazing. It's the best.
True.
It will blow your mind if you don't have it already.
It's
Also,
the goat.
it's got free Space Invaders
Yep.
that you can play at any moment. And we can just sit here. And
This blew my mind the first time I saw it.
I know, right? It's the best.
It's like, this is the most innovative synthesizer ever.
Which is perfect because there's so many moments where I'm just so stuck, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I can just play Space Invaders real quick,
Yeah.
and then."
Let me just goof off for
Yeah,
a second
and then
not
boom.
worry about music.
Which is good because a lot of the video games I play have like a 30-minute ramp up time
Yeah.
before anything interesting happens.
Right.
Hey,
Whoa, what was that
the
sound?
gifted sub to Serene. Let's go. Thanks. 400 CTYA. Sheesh.
Thank you, Sareem.
Oh, Siren. That was actually a Dreamer Boy changed his name, apparently,
Oh.
to Siren. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
I thought Serene.
I like the change.
Oh. But yeah, so this plugin is great. What they did is they updated all of their stuff in a myriad of different ways.
Yeah, so they have a whole basket of effects.
Mm-hmm.
They have every different effect that you might want. They have all their own versions of them: saturation, distortions, delays,
Comb filters. Love the comb filter.
pitching. They have fucking everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they've built a synthesizer as well, and they have a couple other things. They have multipass and snap heap, which are like a grouping of where you could. Snap heap is you could layer up a whole bunch of plugins like you might in your bottom of your Ableton in your effects chain.
Right.
You can just chain a bunch of them together, and you can assign LFOs and envelopes and all that shit. And then multipass has multi-band
Right.
version of that.
Right, exactly.
And then the Phaseplant is their synthesizer, which has all of those effects built in as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they all are using the same modulation setup.
Yep. They all have their own ecosystem, which is super nice, and it's not like difficult to wrap your brain around. It all works pretty easily, and they even made the Phaseplant synth, I think, be a little more user friendly when you're trying to modulate something. It shows you where that is running to. It kind of shows a little line as you're dragging it to what you want to modulate.
Yep.
And what's cool about Phaseplant also is you can modulate like everything.
Yep.
Modulate anything to anything. It's pretty nice. They're not 3D. I know it looks like they're 3D and cool, but they're not like most things. But you can do this all for the subscription, which is what I do. It's only $10 a month and you get everything.
Yeah, $10 a month. You get all of their plugins, and they give you a $100 gift card every year.
Yeah.
So you lose $20 a year.
Yep. Exactly.
And eventually you could just buy all the plugins.
Yeah, exactly. After like 3 years, you can just then go buy the whole bundle.
I think it's like $1,200 or something for the full everything.
Really?
Yeah, so it's quite a few years.
Oh, maybe it's just
look,
Phaseplant.
Ultimate right there, $400.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm wrong. It's $400, so it would be 4 years.
Yeah, it's normally 600.
Oh, they got a deal on it right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 400.
400, you say?
So,
it's a good price if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Sheesh.
I mean, for this, it's a really good price.
Yeah, it's an insane price.
I mean, you're getting so much good shit.
What's sick too is they have a bunch of free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And what's great too about this update that they've done is if you are already a subscriber or already have it all updates for free.
Yeah.
It's all free. The only bummer and gripe I have with it is it wipes all previous versions of Phaseplant in any projects you have. So, for example, I had some projects that I had the version 1 of Phaseplant on there, and after I updated, those were nulled, and I couldn't,
That's rough.
Luckily, it's pretty far and few between.
Where you leave a MIDI.
Right, where I leave a MIDI. I'm such a flattener that...
Flat gang.
Yeah,
Flat gang.
I'm not really... Yeah, I'm not really
Flattened
concerned.
gang.
Flattened gang, dude. Bounce gang.
Bounce gang. That's right, bounce. We bounce.
Bounce gang.
Yeah, so the update is sick as fuck. They added a whole bunch of things. They added a bunch of new modulation things. And they updated some things that are visual, like the visual side of it. It's a little bit nicer looking. Oh, Noisha's in there. Let's go. That's how you know. Yeah, okay, so
specifically this thing right here, folks.
This is the creme de la creme. This is fucking sick. So this is a new LFO. You've heard of a wavetable, but have you heard of an LFO table?
Yeah, that is very exciting.
You look at that.
You'll notice as I scrub through this, it's changing that LFO.
That's so fucking
you should
Tell me that's
genius.
not fucking
How
cool.
has no one done that yet?
I don't know.
It makes perfect
And what's
sense.
crazy is that's just the first one. There's so many.
They give you a bunch of presets?
Yeah. Can you use the regular?
It looks like you can use a regular wavetable.
Like if I just use...
Do they have an experimental
Yeah,
section?
yeah, you can just sit... You
can use any wavetable as an LFO.
Yeah, you can use these retarded... Look at these FMs.
God.
Look at these FM ones.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
I mean, this is kind of similar to Victor's 808s, where he uses the 808 as the LFO, right?
Right.
But-
He uses he vocodes with a wub
Right.
as the source
Right, exactly.
on an 808.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Shout out Any Heights.
this, you could almost throw in an 808 as the wavetable and then LFO it and scrub through. I mean, something like this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
just
if maybe-
noise at that point.
But if you put... Well, yeah, I
If
guess.
you slow it down enough.
/ let's just put it on our.
Yeah, put it on something. We gotta hear it.
Yeah, let's just put it on our gain.
Put it up at the fast spot and then slow the whole LFO down. Are we, what? Is this Tech House all of a sudden? Tech House lead, let's go.
Do that with the.
There's another way to make your sounds a little less sterile. Use Phaseplant's magic LFO thing because it's really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and like you can have another random LFO go and have it kind of scrub through the LFO table as it's playing. And then as your song is happening, that lead sound's getting a slightly different type of a thing.
That's so sick.
That was fun.
It's pretty sick.
It's sweet, folks. You gotta go check it out. Shout out Kilohearts.
Wait, let's look at a couple other of the things.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down.
We got time.
Oh yeah, baby.
And I want to like juice this.
Oh, yeah.
So that Kilohearts will one day give us this shit for free.
And sponsor the pod.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at some of the other modulation things that they added. They added this curve thing. If you click on like the presets for it and go to the complex ones, these are like long stretches of things with different. So this is kind of like, it's like a sampler LFO. It has a loop section.
What? That's so weird. Okay.
This is how you get very not sterile sounds.
I know, right?
Right.
Use this kind of shit. Yeah, exactly.
So now you have to sit here, and this is kind of what you were talking about. You sit here.
This is totally what I was talking about, yeah. If you hit the pen, like the right tool on the bottom right, yeah, then you have a little bit easier time of adjusting it.
It'll let you adjust it in
Yep.
real time? Thank God.
Do you guys remember that video that John was really hyped on like a year ago with those like Indian style of like singing or rhythmic stuff where it's all like crazy evolving rhythms the whole time? Not that it's super important, but that just kind of reminded me of it because it's like just crazy rhythms here and there. It's
yeah.
like 7/8 here. Now
I mean,
it's like 3/5 or something weird.
This is like one of my favorite things in electronic music is like having something that feels like it's off time,
Yes.
but it's like it like magically somehow sits in time perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Like without the kick drum there, people are listening to it and they're like, okay, is it okay? That's where the rhythm, and then the kick drum comes where they don't expect it, but then it makes sense. Oh, it's just the juiciest juice. I fucking love it so much.
Juicy.
The juiciest
The
juice.
juiciest juice.
So
And
juicy.
You can do that kind of weird shit with this thing. This thing's super rad.
Oh, yeah.
I personally haven't messed with this one yet, and it's got its own speed also.
It also will, you can do one of those instead of an envelope in the generator area. See, it has envelope and curve as an option on the right. So you can have one of those be your
instead of this.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you go and change it to like something with some interest, then it'll just auto. Yeah.
Right.
I wish I
wish
like the view of that one
Yeah, like
better than the bottom one.
You like
I wish
the view
it
of
was
this one?
longer. Yeah.
Oh.
Like I like how it's long.
I don't like how you don't see where it is though. In this one.
Oh right, yeah, you don't. It doesn't give you the little ball or whatever
Right.
following it. Yeah, that's true. Also kind of nice though. Sometimes to not have the visual thing can be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I hear you though. I would rather have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Preciseness is nice too.
Yeah. They have an audio follower now?
Yep.
What's that?
So you could send it audio, like let's say from another oscillator that you make, and then have anything be modulated by the audio that you send it.
How do you send it to it? Oh.
You choose
this-
which lane you're drawing from. You could choose sideband as well.
Is this where you're drawing from?
Yeah.
Is this input? Oh, okay.
I think so. Yeah. Because there's no audio output from that. It's just
Right.
It's just finding it, and then you have attack and release and gain, and then you can then send that to a filter
or you can
whatever.
like have it skip. Oh. Yeah, where does it go?
You send it somewhere, like any modulator.
Yeah,
yeah,
it just turns it into a signal.
Right. It's
Da,
just
da,
a
da, da, da,
modulation
da.
source
Right,
now.
right,
whatever
right.
audio you
Right.
send into it. Which I don't know. It's definitely less sterile than an LFO. You know?
Yeah.
Like an LFO is going to be succinct. That audio follower is not. It's just reacting to whatever input you give it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool.
I thought maybe I was going to see if you can have it outside of Phaseplant.
Oh, like if they had some kind of bring something in. You could always non-linear filter. Yeah. Just a filter.
Right. I was like, wait, isn't that just a filter?
Yeah, what else is in there? They have all sorts of new MIDI stuff.
Yeah.
All those are like most of them are new. I think they had note and maybe like
Pitch.
velocity. They had a couple of those, but they added MPE. They added
CC.
yeah, some of that stuff is new.
They got a remap now.
Modulate this area to connect an input. Oh, so you have to send something to it. Try to send like the output of that oscillator into it, or yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That works too.
Okay.
I don't know what it's doing though.
I don't know.
Remap.
Well, it's basically a wave.
It's a curve.
shaper. Yeah. Yeah. You just like, you're like, I want the table to clip.
That's sick.
That is pretty slick.
Interesting.
Sample
Yeah.
and hold, which is super nice. A similar thing.
Where you could like freeze it.
Uh-huh.
Freeze a moment. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, utility.
Man.
Oh, and you can group up effects and stuff now.
By what? Holding G or something?
I don't know. Maybe a Control G will do it. No? Maybe you have to add the group first. Group, and then drag stuff into it, maybe.
Yep.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
I really know.
It's just
I
nice
guess,
for
like,
when you have a bunch
yeah.
of stuff, but I never have that much stuff.
Yeah, if you're doing some kind of like helicopter sound in there, it might be handy.
Yeah, or if you're doing those,
You know?
this synth is a whole song. Like,
Right. I made a whole song with this synth.
Have you guys ever done that
Why,
before?
John?
no.
Why?
What?
No.
Never once?
No.
John has.
That boy, John.
Waste
That
of my
done
time.
it?
I have, yeah.
Waste of my time.
It was back in
Was
probably
it-
like my first
Was
year
it
or
a
two.
subs up challenge? It might have been a subs up challenge.
I mean,
Oh,
I
if
would
it was, that was before my time.
I would
which
do
is
it for a
shame.
challenge, but
Yeah,
I'm not
for a
going to do
challenge.
it in my free time.
right.
Maybe we'll do that in the future for one of our challenges, like beat battle, sample flip type things. You'll like make it in one.
Probably
patch.
we won't. Probably we won't do that.
Probably won't.
It's not really necessary.
We don't want to waste y'all's time.
No, we don't want to waste our own time either. Holy shit! It's a great thing to do if you're really not knowing how synthesizers work, because
Yeah.
you're gonna learn.
Yeah, because like now we could all do it for sure.
Right.
We could shit out tracks like that all day if we wanted, but it's like why? Like we know we could do it. Like nothing
It would
that
be
cool is
funny
gonna
if you're
come from
in
it.
here. You're like, you got a group that's your drums, and you're like everything.
know,
and
right?
You got a group, and you're sending them to like lanes for groups, and ew.
Ew. Ew. I don't want my synth to be a DAW. Like I'm in the DAW. Okay? The DAW does the DAW things. The synth makes the sound.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I need you to do.
Yep.
I don't think there's a whole lot more to
For-
talk about, although.
For my sake, can you remind me how we were able to update everything? What did we have to do again? We had to delete.
Yeah, well, if you go to the page where you download the update on Kilohearts and you scroll to the bottom, there's like a troubleshooting area, and it'll show you like if you had it before and you need to do the update, you have to like basically delete the hidden folder for Kilohearts in your like document. It's like program documents something.
It's here, folks.
Damn, you're running out of space, my guy.
Program data. Oh no, it's fine. No, it's fine. That's just because we're recording on that at the moment.
Yeah, program data.
It's program data. So
And then you go to the Kilohearts folder and you just delete the folder.
yeah, I had a big issue trying to figure out because I wanted to upgrade, but every time I opened the installer, it would just close immediately,
Right, it
and
just
I was super
immediately
confused. Yeah, and
crashes.
I was like, "What the fuck is going on, guys?" I was so confused. And then he's like, "Yeah, you got to go to your program data and delete the Kilohearts
Right,
folder.
yeah.
You just straight up delete that folder."
Which I went to their Discord and asked, and I
Right.
got an answer in
Like
1 minute.
Right.
Yeah, I got an immediate answer.
Right.
So
So
they're good with that.
if you're confused, either go to their Discord or rewind it 10 seconds.
I literally said to the guy answered my question with a little link, and I was like, "Thank you, you're the best. That worked." And he was like, "No, Kilohearts is the best. We're here for them." I was
Jesus
like,
Christ. I love that, man.
I'll say the same thing, Kilohearts, if you sponsor the podcast.
Ooh.
For
One
now,
day.
What's going on back
I still love you so much.
Yeah.
You're the goat.
Yeah, folks, it's sweet. And Aquat, I know you just bought Phaseplant and all the whole bundle. Definitely upgrade it before too long, because like I said, every time you pull in the new Phaseplant, once you install the new Phaseplant, it's gonna delete your old one. So all your old projects with those Phaseplant patches are gonna be wiped clean. So either
Flatten.
before you upgrade, go to all of those and freeze and flatten them so they're in audio, and just delete the MIDI channel so you don't have to worry about it, and then you'll be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
But definitely
I don't know that it fucked mine up. I think I had one in the project I was working on and it worked.
Really?
I think it translated. I can't really remember exactly.
Man, no. Mine.
It's hard to say because it was just like a sub. So
Oh, yeah. See,
it might have,
mine
like,
wouldn't even let me
kinda-
open it. The Phaseplant didn't exist. It
okay.
was just like the.
Right.
It
gave
just
you
showed.
the, like,
It showed
box.
this box, but there was no knobs. It was all blank
Right.
with a yellow
Maybe it did that
diamond
to
in
me
there.
Too. I didn't use the sub that I had before, so
But regardless,
Regardless.
yeah. Just go flatten those things.
Yeah.
They don't need
Yeah.
to be in
Flatten them babies
MIDI.
down.
You got to work on a new track anyway.
Yep.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's something I've been trying to get in my head, and I know this is like a cliche as fuck thing to say, but I've been trying to work very fast at getting a tune made so that I can then like nitpick it.
Just get like the rough draft
Get
idea
the
there.
whole fucking song in there, and just as soon as there's something interesting happening in my loop, I try and start laying that thing out really quick, because we all like to get lost in the sauce
Yep.
because this is our favorite thing to do. So it always happens.
Yeah.
So the way to avoid that, just lay the bitch out, and
Right.
Yep.
and then you can make sweet love to her.
It kind of it's two different roads, like the reason we're saying that is because we know if you get lost in the sauce and you spend those 20 extra hours on the loop before you lengthen it out or whatever, there's a possibility that you come up with the dopest shit.
Right,
Like it
yeah,
comes out and you're like, oh, if I hadn't done this, I would have never like made this sound.
Right.
It never would have gotten to this point. But you also could have written 3.
Right. And we're at there's a place for both.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, definitely do both. More so, spend a lot of time working on making cool sounds
Yeah.
and make tracks with those sounds, whatever. But like in the long run, if you're good at using all the things, you can kind of do things very fast.
Yeah. You can cruise.
And we're making dance floor music,
Yeah.
shit music for the dance floor.
And
So you just make it quick.
right. And not every track has to be like the most like epic
Beneficial
of
to
epic.
you
Well, that too.
if you're the DJ, that you have some tunes that aren't the most epic tunes, because everybody on the dance floor does not want to hear epic tune after epic tune in a row.
More so, they want the simplest tune of the simplest tune. One after
they want
the other.
a lot of those.
They want a lot of those in a row.
And then every once in a while, you hit them with the full
Right.
cum shot.
Right. That's right. Exactly.
Just
Yeah,
right in the
just
face.
Because that whole time they've been prepping, they've been ready, they've been jamming, they've been hanging out,
Yeah.
and then and you get the whole big
Right,
banger,
Yeah.
and then
Babies.
Man, the babies are made that night.
and then babies, dude.
Yeah.
And on that note, that's the end of episode 56.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Is it the F note?
We did it.
On that F note?
On that F note, no, it's actually the brown note.
Oh, C.
I don't know.
C0.
C0.
Or I guess it'd be like B0 because you can kind of get away with C, but
Right. Yeah, it'd have to
B,
be just
you
so
never wanna-
rumbly.
yeah.
All right,
Fuck
folks.
B.
We love you.
It's a good one.
Go ahead and join the Discord.
Yep.
Always400.com.
Always400.com.
400.com.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yep.
Hit that sub. Follow us, you little bastards.
Yep.
We love you.
Bell.
We'd love to
all the
hear from you
things.
guys. We got
Instagram.
that's what the Discord's for.
Yep.
love you
Look
guys.
forward to our challenge where you make an entire song in a synth.
Nope.
You heard how excited they were about it? It'll happen one day.
All right, guys. We love you. We'll see you next week, if not sooner.